Thank you for joining Safe Haven Radio. Today, we're exploring a deeply human experience that affects millions of us, the overwhelming need for praise and external validation. If you find yourself constantly checking for likes on social media, feeling empty when your efforts go unrecognized, or measuring your worth by others' approval, please know that you're not alone. Recent neuroscience research has revealed fascinating insights about why our brains are literally wired to seek praise, and more importantly, how we can transform this pattern into something healthier. Let's explore this together today, at your own pace. What you're experiencing isn't a character flaw or weakness, it's a neurobiological pattern that developed for good reasons, often starting in childhood. Many of you watching may have grown up in environments where love felt conditional, where praise came only with achievement, or where you learned that your value depended on meeting others' expectations. These experiences shape our brains in profound ways that we're only now beginning to understand through advanced brain imaging technology. I want to be clear from the start, while the methods we'll discuss today are backed by solid research, they're not a replacement for professional support if you're struggling with deeper issues around self-worth or validation. What we're offering today are evidence-based tools that can complement your journey toward a healthier relationship with praise and recognition. Take what resonates with you, leave what doesn't, and remember that change happens gradually, not overnight. The scientific evidence around praise-seeking behavior has expanded dramatically in recent years. A comprehensive study published in 2024 involving over 3,000 participants revealed something remarkable about our dopamine system. When we anticipate praise, not even receive it, just anticipate it, our ventral tegmental area releases dopamine, creating a powerful neurochemical drive for validation. This same research found that people with chronic validation-seeking patterns showed 47% higher stress levels and significantly decreased mental well-being scores compared to those with more balanced validation needs. What's particularly fascinating is how dopamine creates what neuroscientists call latent attractors in our brains. A groundbreaking study from this year demonstrated that dopamine-dependent synaptic plasticity essentially creates neural highways that pull us toward reward-seeking behaviors. It's like having invisible magnets in your brain that constantly draw you toward situations where you might receive praise. This explains why the urge for validation can feel so automatic and overwhelming. Your brain has literally been shaped to seek these rewards. Brain imaging research has shown us something else crucial. Subpopulations of dopamine neurons separately mediate reward association and motivation. This means that some parts of your brain learn to associate certain behaviors with praise, while other parts create the drive to seek it out. When these systems become overactive, which often happens when we've experienced conditional love in childhood, we develop what researchers describe as a hypersensitive validation-seeking system. The role of oxytocin in this process is equally important. Often called the bonding hormone, oxytocin plays a crucial role in how we process social rewards. Research from major institutions has found that the distribution of oxytocin receptors in our reward circuits directly influences how intensely we seek social validation. People with certain patterns of oxytocin receptor distribution literally experience a stronger neurochemical reward from receiving praise, making them more likely to develop validation-seeking patterns. Perhaps most striking is research showing that our brains process social rejection in the same regions that activate during physical pain. When we don't receive the validation we're seeking, the anterior cingulate cortex lights up in brain scans, the exact same region that responds when we experience physical injury. This helps explain why lack of recognition can feel so genuinely painful. It's not just in your head in the dismissive sense, it's literally in your brain's pain processing centers. Now, let's move into practical methods that research has shown can help transform these patterns. Remember, these aren't quick fixes but rather evidence-based practices that work gradually to reshape your neural pathways. Start with what feels manageable, and don't blame yourself if progress feels slow. The first method is what researchers call the dopamine detox protocol. This involves deliberately abstaining from all social media and external validation sources for 48 hours. I know this might sound challenging, but research shows that this brief reset period allows dopamine receptors to resensitize, reducing the intensity of praise-seeking urges by up to 35%. During this time, engage in activities that provide intrinsic satisfaction without external feedback. Reading a book just for yourself, walking in nature without posting about it, or working on a creative project that no one else will see. The goal isn't to eliminate your need for connection, but to give your brain a chance to recalibrate its reward sensitivity. The second approach is values-based action planning. Each morning, write down 3 actions aligned with your core values, regardless of whether anyone will notice or praise them. This might be spending quality time with a loved one, working on a personal goal, or helping someone anonymously. Studies demonstrate that individuals who practice values-based behaviors consistently for 21 days show significant reductions in validation-seeking behaviors. Brain scans reveal increased activation in the prefrontal cortex, the region associated with self-directed motivation and decision-making. Track your completion of these actions, not the praise you receive for them. The third technique is internal validation meditation. Spend 10 minutes daily visualizing yourself completing meaningful tasks without any external recognition. See yourself finishing a project, achieving a goal, or helping someone, and focus entirely on the internal feeling of satisfaction and accomplishment. Research shows this mental rehearsal actually creates new neural pathways, strengthening the connections between achievement and internal satisfaction rather than external praise. Start by imagining small accomplishments and gradually work up to bigger ones. The key is to really feel the satisfaction that comes from within, independent of anyone else's response. The micro-affirmation technique is particularly powerful for daily practice. Throughout your day, give yourself brief, specific acknowledgments for small accomplishments that no one else would even notice. Did you choose a healthy lunch? Acknowledge that choice. Did you respond patiently to a frustrating email? Give yourself credit. Neuroscience research indicates that self-generated praise activates similar reward circuits as external validation but crucially builds autonomy and self-reliance. Start with 5 daily micro-affirmations and gradually increase them. Make them specific and genuine. This isn't about empty self-praise but about recognizing real efforts and choices. Finally, consider the social media restructuring method. Rather than deleting social media entirely, which might not be realistic for everyone, restructure how you use these platforms. Shift from posting for likes to using platforms exclusively for learning and authentic connection. Research participants who made this shift reported 40% improvement in self-worth measures after 8 weeks. Their brain scans showed decreased activation in regions associated with social comparison and increased activity in areas linked to genuine social connection. Unfollow accounts that trigger comparison, stop checking like counts, and focus on meaningful exchanges rather than validation metrics. If you have concerning symptoms like persistent depression, severe anxiety, or thoughts of self-harm related to validation issues, please consult a mental health professional. These methods are tools for growth, not treatments for serious mental health conditions. There's no shame in needing additional support. In fact, seeking help when needed is a powerful form of self-validation. To summarize what we discussed today, let me share the key points. First, dopamine creates powerful neural attractors that pull us toward seeking praise, and understanding this can help us work with our biology rather than against it. Second, childhood experiences of conditional love shape our adult validation needs, but these patterns can be gradually reshaped through consistent practice. Third, our brains process social rejection like physical pain, which explains why lack of validation hurts so deeply. Fourth, values-based actions can rebuild our intrinsic motivation neural pathways, helping us find satisfaction from within. Fifth, self-generated praise and micro-affirmations can rewire our reward circuits toward autonomy and self-reliance. And sixth, oxytocin modulates how intensely we seek social rewards, and understanding this can help us be more compassionate with ourselves. Remember, transforming your relationship with praise and validation is a journey, not a destination. You don't need to be perfect, and you don't need to change overnight. Small steps matter. Your pace is fine. What matters is that you're becoming aware of these patterns and taking gentle steps toward a healthier relationship with yourself. The goal isn't to never want praise again. That's neither realistic nor healthy. The goal is to develop a balanced relationship where external validation is nice to receive but not necessary for your sense of worth. If today's content provided any support or insight, please hit the like button to help others find this information. Subscribe to Safe Haven Radio to continue learning about mental health together. May your hearts feel a little lighter, and may you find the validation you seek from the most important source, yourself. Thank you for listening to Safe Haven Radio.